As we think about the end of all things, as we ask these clarifying questions, well, like, what do I want to be remembered for? Love through service, through creating space for people to come and experience the love of Christ. Through creating space for people to work through difficult things. To create a space for people by serving them well. By loving them, by being willing to be a little bit inconvenienced. Sometimes we don't want to be inconvenienced by other people's problems. Right? We don't want to have to deal with that. We don't want to have to stop and pause in our daily routine. We want our things to be our things and to just not have to deal with them. If we think about Peter's experience, Peter has seen this. Peter's seen this in the trial of Jesus. He's seen Pilate come out and take a basin of water and wash his hands of the whole situation. I wonder if in that moment he connected it to the basin that Jesus had used the night before to stoop down and wash the disciples' feet. One person washed his hands. One person washed their feet. And we can look at the problems in the world, and we can look at the issues that our community is facing, and we can say, that's not my problem. But Peter experienced the transforming love of a Savior who would stoop down and show his love through service by washing the disciples' feet. Love costs us something. Our resources, our time, control, protection. It always does. But above all else, Peter says, love one another. Be hospitable and serve with the gifts that you've been given for God's glory, so that Jesus might be lifted up. Not us, not something that we do, but that Jesus might be lifted up. A couple of months ago, I came out of the office, and this happens a lot. There was a guy there, and he approached me and said, "Hey, I've been trying to get somebody to help me out with cab fare. You know, I need to get to this certain place and to this certain place." I said, "Well, where is it?" And I said, "Well, and where is it?" He told me where it was. And he told me where it was. Like, get in. I don't recommend this. I know I've said this before. I just have this weird habit of picking people up. But this isn't something you should do. I don't recommend this. But it was amazing to watch that guy's countenance change. As we got into the car and we started driving, I was headed home. I was on my way home, and that's what I was leaving the church to go do. I was going to go home. But instead, I went further than I wanted to go in the opposite direction. But as he unpacked his story, as he told me why he was trying to get where he was going, he just started to cry. And he asked me this question. He said, "I asked 100 people for cash to get a cab today. Why did you say, get in my car?" I said, "Because that's what Jesus would do." I don't tell you that because I'm awesome. I don't tell you that because I want you to be proud of me. I tell you that because it's the power of love and service and inconveniencing yourself for the sake of another. It's what's really remembered. It's what really has the power to change somebody's life. It's what really has the power to change somebody's direction. Serving people well. And around here, we talk about two different things. We talk about connecting the church to the community and the community to the church. And both of those things need to take place for us to be the church that God longs for us to be. That we've got to take some time out of our schedule to serve in the community. We've got to serve at the co-op and at Family Promise and through Christmas Extravaganza and at Central Gwinnett and all of our partner schools and in different places that give us the opportunity to share God's love in unique ways. And yes, I know it takes time out of our schedule. Yes, I know that the people who are receiving the service, that their problems are not our problems. But I also know Jesus washed our feet. But then we've also got to create a space, a place where people can come together and experience God's goodness and experience what a family of faith feels like. We've got to connect the community to the church. And so we've got to have people who welcome people even when it's cold on really cold days and stand out and just say, good morning, we're so glad you're here. And we've got to have people who follow up with folks. And we've got to have people who serve in the children's ministry. And we've got to have people who do all sorts of things. We've got to have people who lead us in worship. We've got to have people who make sure that the sound and the cameras and all of the things are working and doing what they need to do, which is some sort of magic that I don't understand. We've got to be a place that creates space for people to come and experience the love of God.